So the giant onion bed is no more, and I will show you why. I'm not so bothered about the giants. Was just what I used to enter into peat competition, so it just means I'm out of competition. I still got onions. Well, they're my spring onions. Oops, 2 seconds. I've got a volunteer potato there. Pull that out. They're my onions in with me carrots. But never mind, we'll get back and I'll show you why this bed is empty now. A lot of you will be guessing and guessing correctly. It's, you can see me onions, every one of them, you know, there's onions underneath, but every one of them. I cut one open and see if I can zoom in for you. Yep. So I've done a few of them and they're all the same. So that pile, unfortunately, is all going to get burned. So I would just like to wish everyone else that's still left in the giant onion growing competition the best of luck. I know Rob's in it, Debbie, Duncan's still in it at the moment. I've said Rob, haven't I? Pete, Mark, Elaine. There's still a lot of people still in it, so I wish you all the very, very best of luck. I've still got some onions in there as well, so I'm not going to be struggling for onions this year. I'll just be struggling for giants. But I look forward to next year's, and in which case I think I'll be treating that bed. I won't be growing alliums in it next year, but I will treat the bed regardless. And I'm going to keep it netted. They were netted when I first put them out, and after about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I took the net off. So the net's been up about a month, and up until then they were fine. Up until a few days ago they were fine. I took that small one out yesterday, which was one of me no lights. I took that out yesterday, cut it open, obviously. Then I checked the rest of them this morning, and you've seen the results. So I just thought I would let people know. Hey, we've got a council rule. Your hedge can be no higher than 6 foot. Yeah. And I used to like, notice the word used, I used to like a high hedge. It would stop people seeing in, see what you're doing, what you had, etc, etc, etc. My plot neighbour, Mick, cut his hedge down last year. And I happened to make a remark the other day. Looks much better, Mick, there, because we can see straight through your garden. Because we often sit at the picnic table on Mick's, and we see people walking along the alley. Well, there's my hedge. That's how much is cut off. If you can see the red, that's the car. So if I come out, I'll stand just across the alley, the other side. Yeah, right, so something's happened. So there's my hedge. So now you can see my compost base, you can see the little polytunnel, you can see pallets. If you come closer, you can actually see all the timber I've got, a couple of frames with windows in. You can see right up the garden. Now, I know it doesn't look aesthetically nice because there's no green. But mix was like this last year, and you can see mix now. Well, even done Maggie's next door to them, the old lady, you know, and you can see further along you've got Keith and Wendy's who's got the high hedge, and this is Maggie and Mix. That'll go along mine. Then you've got Ian's, Phil and Jackie, Claire, and so on and so on. Just as an aside, a while ago I made a video and I showed what the old derelict gardens were like over this hedge. The council had reclaimed 50 odd gardens. Well, it was like a tip, and the council sent in workmen a while ago, and they chopped it all back, removed all the old allotment buildings that were there, greenhouses, sheds. They had it basically down to soil, apart from tree stumps that were left. And lo and behold, within, I think it's about maybe 3 months now, it's all starting to grow back. And the cemetery is reclaiming the land, because we are actually on cemetery land, so they'll be burying on this land within a few years. Hi Maggie! The only job I've got to do is make the hedge a bit thinner. So I'm debating on whether to cut it on the alley side to make the alley more wider, or to come in the garden and trim it. I can trim the first probably 6 foot right back to the gate post. We're cutting the gate post, we're going to put a short gate in. But I'll make that hedge a lot thinner than what it is. But it is what it is. Oh, look at them gooseberries in there, man. Lovely, lovely. I did make a start on the ivy, as I've been saying I'm going to do. I haven't started clearing this area yet for the new polytunnel to be put there, and then get rid of this smaller one. I did trim my pumpkin. There's the courgettes, by the way. That's a green one. That's a yellow one with the fruit on. So as I say, I did trim the pumpkin. I've left a couple of pumpkins on, and I'll just keep cutting them every now and again, trimming it down. But you can see the size of it. I've even cut, I think I did cut the growing tip off, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I have. So it shouldn't grow any longer, which is a good thing. So that way, I will go down the trees a minute. Right. Apples are now starting to come on now. And some nice pears. The plums, they're not doing very well, but you know, there's a few on them. There's a couple there. I can see one there. Don't know if you can actually make it out, but you should be able to. Apart from that, everything's looking all right. the sprouts in the tubs, giant cabbage, swede, collie, broccoli, Savoy, and red cabbage at the end, and behind them potatoes, which goes along past the beetroot here, and the onions. There's red onions right at the beginning, and then there's Ailsae Craigs. So hanging baskets still looking good. The only thing spoiling them is them. But I think I'll call that the end of this video. You've had a quick garden tour. You've seen that my onions have been decimated, or should I say my giant onions anyway. So I came back at tea time to do some watering, and I've sussed out how I can thin my hedge out, but I was greeted with another surprise. Oh look, Mick's only went and cut the gate in half now. What he should have done though, this post is knackered. It needs concreted in. Now that bolt is locked, right? But watch, there you are. It needs to be pulled in and concreted, but really it needs another post putting in. So I'll bring a bag of postcrete tomorrow, and I've got fence posts there. I'll use one of them. So anyhow, plot 41 here, plot 41B. Right, so that's me now leaving the plot. I've had quite an eventful day. Alium leaf miner strikes yet again, strikes yet another participant of the Giant Onion Challenge. But it is what it is, and it's no good crying over spilt milk. There's people lost much better onions than what I've lost, so it doesn't bother us at all, to be honest. I've still got onions to eat, which they've been netted since the day they were put out. Me onions are in with the carrots, and also me leeks are quite susceptible now because they're actually right next to the bed with the leaf miner. Oh, we get our pet. So they're a little bit susceptible at the moment. So I've been told of a couple of chemicals I can try to put in the bed, which will hurry up cleaning the soil, etc, etc. If there's any grubs left in the soil, any maggots, which I've had a look, I've dug some out where I've pulled each onion. There's been a couple, or there's been like, I don't know, maybe 10. I've took as many away as I can see. They've all been burned, unfortunately, the maggots and the onions burned. But this chemical I've been told off an old guy, and he says you can spray the beds if you more or less spray where the onions were dug up from. Any maggots or anything that's still in the soil, it can kill them off. So I can only but try. And that is actually my first time I've ever had allium leaf miner. I don't want it again, but you know, we can't pick and choose when we get it and when we don't. We can only try and make things a bit more difficult. But as I say, there's people who have lost better and bigger onions than me to the leaf miner. I did get a comment off Rachel today on Facebook saying she's jinxed me. Yes, Rach, yeah, I think you have. You've jinxed me, you've jinxed Dean, because Dean's been hit with it. So yeah, we blame Rach. How are Mr. Merck? Come on, or Mrs. Merck, whichever. Rachel's a Jonah, but she's not really. I'll be going to the Bemis show with Eric and Rachel. I'm unsure at the moment if Steve will turn up. I don't think Dean will, because he's got his own show on. So I'm hoping I can do the Bemis show on the Saturday and still have time to go to Dean's down and see him. Fingers crossed, here's hoping. So I'm nearly home and I've got a couple of jobs to do. Whether I do them tonight, I don't know. I've got to repair some old concrete round the manhole what's breaking up, and I've got to do a bit of repairing on a shed frame, the door frame, etc. And then tomorrow, hopefully, if I've got time, I want to go down the allotment. I want to dig that gate post out, concrete another one in, hopefully trim the hedge right back, and I want to make a, well, I don't know what it's called, we'll see, like a false door, so I can leave my shed door open and put small wire mesh on, like a small wire mesh door, just to stop the rats getting in. That way I can nip down the plot 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, open the door, prop it open, and leave this wire mesh door open to let airflow through. I went back this afternoon, and one of the cucumbers that I grew for me grow along with Rach, that was just withered. You know, it was beyond help. So Rachel's in with a good chance of beating us this time, because I've only got the one cucumber plant left. But hopefully that'll be okay. I need more airflow through the greenhouse. My tomato room has windows on the front that opens. It has one on the side, none on the back. The greenhouse only has the 2 windows that open on the back, none in the front. So it doesn't get a lot of airflow unless the shed door's wide open. So these are little jobs I've got to do, and I'll see what I can get done. So I'll bid you all a good evening. Ta-ra everyone, bye for now.